Hey guys, this is Megan from You Go To Be Kidding. This week we are building a Justin Rhodes Chickshaw. I'll be giving you a cost breakdown. We are going to upgrade it with an Omlet automatic door. And I'm going to show you the process of building it, mostly sped up, but a few things that we had going on as we were building. Before we get going too far, I do want to let you know what that cost was, if that's what you clicked on the video for. Overall, this cost us about $800. We did buy everything new, and so that's probably the priciest thing we've built around here in a very long time. $800. We did have a couple of upgrades, so our total cost is right around $1,000, but I will do a full breakdown later on in the video, so we hope you enjoy. Alrighty, our next project is underway. We are going to attempt to make a Justin Rhodes Chickshaw, and we have all of the cuts made and now only 1,000 things to assemble. So hopefully it won't take us too long, and hopefully we can get it done pretty quickly. Alrighty, so we are building Justin Rhodes Chickshaw, the big one. I think he's got plans online, but we backed his Homestead Builds Kickstarter project, and so he is giving out digital plans as they get finished. So these are done by the same guy who did Joel Salatin's Homestead Builds book. I'm not sure, I don't remember what that was called. But so these are really great plans. They have a full cut list, which is what Damien did to cut all of the things, all of the material and hardware and all the things you need, and then step-by-step instructions through the build. So this is what we're going to be using to get this built. Damien and the boys cut all of these things and labeled every single piece. So this is the first time we've ever cut out all the parts from a cut list before actually starting the project and starting assembly. We normally kind of cut the boards one at a time. So hopefully there's some margin and no errors in the list. Hopefully Damien didn't make any errors. And hopefully this goes pretty smoothly. Alrighty, we are back in the workshop. We are working on our Justin Rhodes Chickshaw. We had the week of snow and it was just too cold. We were big babies and we didn't come out and work on it. And we also needed some more parts and we actually couldn't get to the store to get them. But we are back to work. We got to get these chickens out as fast as we can. Since everything melted, now the chicken run is a giant muddy mess and it's starting to smell pretty bad. So we want to get them out and get them moving. We're actually just about done. Having all the pieces cut out has made the assembly process super easy. And so we are installing the, what is this called? Hardware cloth around the edges, and we've got some roofing to do, and the bulk of it is actually finished. So we'll be working on it today, and hopefully we'll get it done. It's another day and I'm back here working on our chickshaw, getting ready for chickens. We are on the roofing step. So Damien and I have both been working on this project, and so today he's at work. This is morning, it's a beautiful day. So I am trying to figure out where he was and where he left off and get ready on the next step. But this is going really well. It is a bigger project. We are for the first time buying, I think we've bought actually all of the materials new. We didn't have enough scrap wood lying around to make this. So it's been a little bit more expensive than normal, but I'm getting really excited about how it is shaping up to get our chickens out of our chicken run. All the snow melted from last week or the week before. I can't remember now. And so we've got a ton of mud. Yes, because a week of snow, a week of rain, and it is just a soppy mess. And so I am really excited to get our chickens moving, but I have got to get to work. So I'm going to take the roofing and I'm going to start closing in the sides, and hopefully it will go pretty smoothly. this is what I've got done for now. I have spent a couple hours out here, probably somewhere between 1 and 2 hours. I was able to get all the front and the rest of the sides wrapped in the plastic. I made the frame for the roof and attached the plastic here. And I am starting to work on the front leg supports, but we're just about done. We just have a few things left, so I can show you how this lid opens up. I attached some latches on here, which latches are always the worst. They're so hard to get like in the right plane with each other. So one of them works great and one of them does not. But we can use a carabiner to secure the one that is a little off. And honestly, an animal can't open this anyway. So, and we lift from a latch. There we go. And this whole thing opens up so we can get inside it, clean out what we need to. It's pretty cool in here. So here it is, just about finished. There's a few things left. This is the door. It folds up. It's the door and the ramp. That works great. The one thing that we are going to modify in here is we have an automatic chicken door, and we are going to try to mount it on the inside, which is a valid way to do it. And so that's going to take some modification, and thankfully this lid lifts up, just like I showed a second ago, which is super cool. So we'll be able to prop this up with the handle that we don't have in place yet, and we'll be able to get in here and work on this back side. But the thick mesh is so that way all the chicken poop falls out. As we move it, they will be fertilizing our pastures, and we don't have to worry about a gross stationary chicken area. I'm super excited about this. It is really easy to lift up. The wheels give it that good pivot point. It is the rickshaw design, and that's the whole point. So the big wheels on the back, and I can lift it with, one finger practically. It is super lightweight, easy to move, which is really cool because it's a lot of wood, and it is really heavy. So I should be done soon. We're actually going to run out. We are picking up some milk. While our goats are dry, we buy from a local farmer. So we're picking up milk, and we need to grab some roofing screws. And I think there are a few other items that we need. I'll have to get organized to make sure I get it all. But like always on projects, a million trips to Home Depot and Lowe's later. So hopefully we'll get what we need and we can get this done and running this week. The chickens will be so excited. So we went to the store the other day. We ran a bunch of errands and we grabbed the roofing screws that we needed to finish up the top here. And so I have those. We also went looking for a third milk crate. I just have the two. I actually bought them for a different project and planned on buying the ones for this separately. And then time got away from us. We actually never used them for the other project. And so I need a third one. And I went to 4 stores and I could not find a silly milk crate. So I think I can order them online from Tractor Supply. And I think actually another store local to me around the area does have one. So we'll just have to go back, find one and grab it. But we're just about done. And so we've just got a few things left to take care of. Finished mostly, but the last step that we have to do is we want to get this automatic door hooked up. So we have one of these Omlet doors, and since there's a ramp that can be folded up to close the coop and to then obviously let them in and out from the ground, we're not going to mount it on the outside like this. We're actually going to turn it inside and flip it around and mount it like this. So Damien is working on a mounting brace that's gonna come in here. Let me see if I can get that to sit there. Probably not. And then we'll kind of close up this top part here. And then we just have to move one support on the brace, this bottom one, or this second one here. We'll just take that off and move it. And hopefully this will close up. If we want to move it, then we can close the ramp. But on the day-to-day basis, this door will open and close on its own, and we won't have to worry about it. So the Omlet door actually comes with these really awesome threaded brackets, which we didn't even realize at first. But so all we had to do was put this piece of wood across the top, and then we're using these threaded brackets. We'll drill out the hole behind them, and then we'll be able to thread the bolts through the door into this bracket. We might use some Loctite to make sure that they stay tight. We don't have room for a wing nut or anything behind it, but it's working pretty well, and it's super easy for us because all we have to do is stick these on. So I hooked this up, I ran the wire out of here, and I'm gonna use some hardware cloth to close this gap. And I'm gonna probably zip tie this up along the front. I don't want the chickens to mess with it inside. And I put it here. I put it a little tall. I wanted it to be up under the roofing so it'd be protected. It is weatherproof, but why not protect it if I can? But this is rubbing. So I think I'm gonna move it down just a little bit further. So I should have known better. The mounting bracket is like only in the center of this pad, and I was thinking it was at the top. So I am gonna scoot this down and get this so it does not get hit by the lid when we go to close the lid. I did it. So I got the Omlet door hooked up, and so I have my control panel right here. I can open the door. Oh, it's closing. Sorry, it was already open. So it is closing. It is right here. And it closes. Okay, so that is all closed up. And then I can go ahead and open it back up. I have videos again on setting this up with a review of this door, and so I won't show you all the buttons, but super easy to use. It is all in there. So I would say that this is actually ready to go, except that silly milk crate. So I might actually get tempted to get these kids and help me get a fence. So we're going to use electric chicken netting to put around it, so that way they have something to come out into, somewhere safe to be, and then they can be out on grass and help fertilize our pastures. And yeah, we're good. We did it. So it is all done. This was the last step to get this all wired up. I just ran it out the front. I used some hardware cloth to close up this gap and then cut out access for this cord. And so then I just zip tied it to the front here. The chickens might jump up and mess with this, but hopefully not too much. And then it comes around to here. The lid can close and it does not bump into this at all. So it is good to go. I am excited. All right, so little Miss Kitty is hanging out, sunning herself on the roof, but I'll go over the costs as we go around the building or around the structure. And I didn't break it down by specific parts, but the wheels were actually the single largest expense. These are the 26-inch flat free tires that Justin Rhodes recommends from Northern Tool, and with shipping they cost us $230 for the two wheels. That's a ton of money. I know that the size really matters in terms of making it easy to move and getting that kind of like pivot point easy to lift up. And so all my kids have been able to lift it. Even Esther, who is only 6, can lift it. She might have trouble moving it, especially if it's on a hill, but she can do it. So that was $230 there. The lumber, the roofing, and all of the metal hinges, there's tons of hinges, but there are also tons of support brackets like these mending braces down here and carriage bolts to make sure that this leg is strong. And then there are mending bracket, like corner braces on all of the corners here. So it's a little overbuilt, but I'm glad to see it. I sure don't want to have to build this again. So all of the lumber and parts came out to about $500. The axles for those wheels are from Granger online. They recommended not to just buy the Home Depot or Lowe's one because these are a higher grade steel. So these came out to $60 for the 2 axles. And that is just at the $800. Now, for extras for us, we did add on that automatic door. It's hiding inside here. You can see it mounted in the back. That is $180 to buy a door. We actually had this lying around. We already had it. We'd bought it to do something else with, but this ended up being a perfect use. So we love this door. We have some reviews on it. So if you want to check out one of those, I will link it above. And then our final cost, an extra $80, was actually the Ryobi stapler that we used to attach all of the hardware cloth. That is not a necessity, but we have a lot of Ryobi tools. So we didn't have to buy another battery or anything. We just bought the tool alone, and that was a tremendous help. I would not recommend doing a project like this without some kind of automatic stapler, especially the bottom. We did not use the big giant fence staples because we did have a powered stapler where we were able to get that 1-inch mesh attached well enough to not be worried about it. So that actually saved us some time from hammering in giant, like traditional fence staples. So those are the cost breakdowns. So our total cost came out to $1,000 with that extra tool and the extra door. And while that is definitely a lot of money, the cost savings comes in for us as we rotate these chickens around our pasture. They are fertilizing for free instead of just making one area of our yard really gross. They are also saving us from having to manage a dirty chicken coop with wood chips. And so a $1,000 coop or a $20,000 tractor, it kind of works out some. So we don't have a big tractor with a scoop on it. And this is benefiting our whole farm. It's letting the chickens get grass. It's improving our eggs. It's improving our pastures. And for us, this was an investment that we were willing to make. So some final thoughts about this Chickshaw build. We are really excited to get it moving, and we are really happy with it. The plans. So again, these are from Justin Rhodes Homestead Builds Kickstarter project. I'm not sure if you can buy it in the meantime, but when it comes out, definitely be on the lookout for this. The plans were super easy to follow. The cut list was perfect. We didn't have any issues with having all the wood cut before. It made the assembly super easy, and I'm just really thankful for great plans. So especially with such a big project, an expensive project, but something that's going to last us for years. I'm happy to have this, and it's always great to support other homesteaders, so I'm thankful that Justin has that resource available and we can support him by using the plan. So thanks for watching. I hope that this video was helpful to give you an idea of costs and what it takes to build it, and we will see you next week.